At Granger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry, with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, clickgranger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
How you doing?
I'm good in yourself.
Doing great, doing great. Starting to get a little chilly here in the southeast. I'm in the ATL here in
Oh, okay.
Atlanta. Yeah. We're starting to get a little bit more of winter here. It was quite a doozy of a summer. I'll tell you, it was really hot, as it
Yeah,
always is in hot Atlanta. But yeah, we're doing okay. I'm not used to this cold though.
yeah. This cold has been hitting us for at least 4 weeks now, at least a month now. So we over in North New Jersey, and it's like crazy over here. We used to it though.
Yeah. So you're up in is it Newark area?
North, yes, North New
Yeah.
Jersey.
I got a daughter, she's living in Elizabeth.
Oh yeah, next door.
Yeah,
Okay,
likes it. Yeah, like she grew up here in the South, but she couldn't stand the heat, so she's been up in that area for a while now.
that's definitely a difference.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, when the snow comes, it's like I don't know. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, so had tons of snow up there.
Okay. So you don't want no parts of it no more.
No, don't miss that. Yeah, I got a bad back from shoveling that stuff for years.
Yeah, I can understand that. I try to do all my vacations away from anywhere hot, just anywhere hot. I love hot weather. I don't like the snow, but because I run the business here and everything, it just makes sense for me to stay here. But I'm definitely having thoughts about, expanding other places.
Yeah, Miami doesn't look too bad right now. I mean, you deal
I,
with the
I,
hurricanes every now and then.
right. My wife is from Texas. Well, she's from Baton Rouge.
Oh,
So she's been trying to get me to move down to Texas because her mom and them is in Texas. And it's like, I went down there to visit a couple of times and you used to get off the plane and the heat hits you like, I'm like, whoa, what is that? Like,
that's funny in
so
Dallas. Oh
yeah,
my
it's suffocating, and and then they're used to it. So when
Yeah, you
she
do.
talks
You
about,
do.
yeah, she got used to it. I'm like, this is not normal. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Brutal summers there. Yeah, definitely. But Texas, it's very different. It's almost its own country over there.
for real. Like it smacked me. I was like, oh no, this is a little too much. And usually I'm the outside person. I like to go outside, and I was like, nah, let's stay inside. Stay under the air. But
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier as we start putting on the years. It just gets a little harder with the weather and things like that. So that's why so many go down to Florida. But yeah,
yeah,
that's a whole different story there.
yeah, man. How are you though?
Good. Hanging in there. I've been doing this podcast. I think we're now going into our third year. So I talk to
Nice.
folks like you trying to get more on the radar. And
Okay.
I see all these interesting projects everybody's been doing. It kind of came out of the whole pandemic because there were a whole bunch of people who were basically, stuck inside all the time.
Right.
So it was really, really tough for them to get out and perform. So they were doing a lot of these things online. So I was trying to get the word out about a lot of great talent out there. It's just
Yes.
amazing.
Yes. I mean, it put a stifle on a lot of things that we were doing with the organization. I didn't close my doors though. Like
Good.
we worked through the whole COVID situation, and just really became a staple in the community even more because we were able to survive different ways online, like in that manner as well. So it actually grew us because we were used to having in-person stuff, and now we're in person and do online stuff. So it's like, wow, some greatness came out of that as well. So
Yeah. So what is the name of your center and how long's that been going?
the Hub Arts and Trauma Center, Hub with two B's, it stands for Help Us Become Better. And we've been doing this work for 16 years, nearly 17 years now. Yeah.
Cool.
The beautiful part about it is the center is in the middle of, it's in the central ward of North New Jersey, but we built it in a place that's notoriously known for negativity. Prince Street, and we took a dilapidated space and 9,000 square feet and turned it into a haven for the young people to grow up in. And literally, like I just had a young person the other day come that get ready to graduate college and stuff, and I had him since he was a little kid, right? So it's just beautiful watching them grow and out of this become successful and then want to come back and get what they give to what they've gotten from us, and that's just the beautiful success stories for me. Knowing that I grew up in the Boys and Girls Clubs, and today, not taking anything away from them, but it's not enough today, right?
Yeah.
It's, to me, it's a little over commercialized and not really focusing on the problem that our young people are facing. And that's what kind of really stemmed me to do this differently. Like, I knew what I got from the Boys and Girls Club, but I also knew what I was missing as well. So I wanted to build a place where utilizing the arts would save my life. Music saved my life.
Oh,
So
totally.
I really believe that if I didn't have the skills and talent to rhyme and stuff like that, and I was like a neighborhood celebrity with my friends, and I hung around with all of the bad dudes, so I stayed out of trouble, but music kind of really kept me engaged and out of trouble, you
Yeah.
know? So it really saved my life, and I attributed it to that. And now I wanted to build this place where not only just the music, but the arts itself can help save other young people. And we've been doing it here in this space for the last 11 years.
Cool. Cool. How do you
Yeah.
get your funding? Do you get a lot of contributions? Are they all big and small?
The funny part, we just had a conversation yesterday about that. We didn't get our first real piece of funding until 2017, and
Mm,
we started in 2006. So it was rough. It was
yeah.
rough, but we had a lot of people that just really bought into the idea of what we was trying to do. I'm very passionate, and of course, I use the music business as a way to relationships and leveraging. Just because I was good at that, and I knew how to attract people in that manner. So I was always socially friendly to get people to help out and volunteer. So we survived those years with no real funding, but then once we, finally got some funding, it started happening even more after that. So we're in a great place now. From 2017 to now, we've got a lot of state funding, city funding, and really able to keep the doors open now instead of coming out of my pocket.
Yeah, yeah. And that's just got to be so stressful to think, money's the biggest stress out of everything to try to keep it going. So, yeah,
Yeah,
it's got to be really
yeah.
tough.
I mean, it's still a fight, convincing the narrative that like we can do this work. Like I'm part of a collection, a collective with Brick City Peace Collective, right? And it's all about community-based violence intervention and the shared public safety, right? And how
Yeah.
the community plays a part in the safety of our communities, right? And this little black boy from Newark was in the White House last Thursday, meeting with them, and they literally made community-based violence intervention a line item in the president's budget, right? So that to me says like we've been doing the hard work. We fought to really change the narrative and funders to understand the work that we do is very important. And now, President Joe Biden just allocated like $5 billion across America for community-based violence intervention. So that's huge. It's a huge win for us. And now we can expect those dollars to be able to help save ourselves.
Yeah, it's a whole community thing. It really is.
Yeah.
It's all, everybody's got to be in on this. We've had these issues here in Atlanta, just
Mhm.
so much violence.
Right.
And really, really young kids were murdered
Right.
on this one bridge near where I work. And,
Wow.
they got out last night and they were talking about doing things like this. Everybody's got to watch out for one another. And,
Right.
these community-based things are so important. And, it's the idle hands. It's got to be the idle hands that just get people in trouble.
No, absolutely. And we just got to do more educating. And for me, the idea of taking entertainment and using that as a tool the
Yeah.
arts and using that as a tool to get them in a safe space, right? And then, when they're in the safe space doing what they love, you can then teach them, right?
Yeah.
So our models is entertain, educate, empower, right? So
Yeah.
the entertainment part is all about the arts, utilizing that to draw them in. Once we have them, we can educate them, right? We can give them the financial literacy, health and wellness, grooming and self-efficacy, mentorship, all of those things. But for me,
Absolutely.
the empowerment part has really become the thing to really create sustainability, because we teach them to peel back the layers, right? And find out what's really, where the harm is really at, right?
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
And from that, you can start a healing process, right? It's one thing to not even identify with trauma, right? And so many of us go through life not identifying, well, that's trauma. And sometimes you got to name it. You got to call it what it is so that you can face it, right? I teach the young people that the healing is in the womb, right? Sometimes you got to go and face it head on just to be able to identify with it, accept it, and to be able to figure out ways to heal from it. But if you never face it, you can't heal from it, right? You can't even admit that it exists. There's no way to heal from it, because you're going to keep perpetuating this way of victimization, right?
Yeah.
And not really calling it that, right? We all been victimized, and it's okay to not be okay. You just can't stay stuck there, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. And teaching them coping skills on how to be resilient after it. We're resilient people. We've survived a lot, right? But we got to tap into that. And we're so used to, maladaptive ways. And unfortunately, it gets us in trouble and making bad decisions. We got to change that.
Yeah, that's where it really needs to change. And doing that, or kind of an organization is so good for you. So growing up, how was it growing up there? You were always in New Jersey?
Yeah, Newark, New Jersey, born and raised. I mean, the Essex County area, but Newark was like home base. I lived in Irvington, East Orange, and Montclair, all of those places. But Newark has been the solid foundation for me, and it was rough. And it was rough growing up. The temptations, because you've seen the poverty, you've seen the drug dealers, you've seen the gangs, you've seen all of those things. But like I said, music saved my life, right?
Yeah.
I had a talent that, kind of kept me focused on other things. And even though I was that social kid that was friends with everybody, my brothers was out there. Like I'm the middle child, and my brothers were they were straddling the fence,
You get
They
lost
were
in the
doing
shuffle that way, being the middle kid. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just stayed focused on music, right? There was the thing that allowed me to be able to talk about some of the issues that was going on, share it in funny ways, and sharing in the ways that the people that didn't know exactly what was going on with me got to understand it in my creative way, right? So I really attribute music saving my life,
Yeah.
And,
Who did you discover growing up? Who was really inspiring you?
I mean, of course, I got to talk about the LL Cool J's and the Rakim, and
Remember when those guys were new? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Tupac, right? So Tupac was like the total misunderstood. I really understood Pac in a way that, later on in his career, I think he really made some bad decisions. But the reality of it is his music and the way that he thought and talked, and it was a revolutionary, right? Like, so that pushed me. And then loving women, right, and girls, like LL Cool J was it. Like, oh man, like like that. If I could use my skill to attract women, oh man, that's dope. And the Rakim just wordplay, man. So those kind of three kept me and guided me in my artistry.
Well, LL Cool J went on to And that was a good path, definitely,
Yeah.
compared to a lot of these other guys. So yeah, it's what a success story that is. And
No,
being
absolutely.
at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and things like that, it was
Yeah,
just
man.
yeah, really good story there,
Yeah.
definitely. So yeah, it must have been rough. I'm going through those schools. Did you find other people who were into the same kind of music you were into as you were going up through school up there?
No, absolutely. Naughty by Natures, the Lords of the Underground, the Red Mans, the Queen Latifahs, all of them. Like
Mm,
that was my era of growing up and seeing them and battling and in the
yeah,
different clubs and battle music and oh man, it was crazy. But to see their success go to the level that it did, it was like wow. Salute to them. You know,
yeah,
um, and for me, it was just like loving watching them grow and represent for our city. And I'm really close with Rasheem Pugh. You probably know him better as Kilo because
yeah,
the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill,
yeah.
right?
Total
So
classic. Yeah.
he wrote and produced a lot of that album, and I'm really close with him. So just watching the success stories, it was like, wow, we could really make it out. So seeing those things allowed me to be able to, talk to my young people today, like it's possible, right? Just because we stuck in it, your situation does not have to dictate your destination. It can, but it
Mm.
doesn't have to, right? And I'm a fine believer in change is possible.
Oh, completely. Yeah. So getting into the music, where did you start recording and composing your own stuff?
Oh man, House of Music, I'll never forget it, man. That was Cool in the Gang studio up in West Orange. And Rashad Muhammad, man, like he was one of my mentors, but he was an engineer, and he's still doing work with Cool in the Gang today. That's
Wow.
crazy, right? Like still making music, still touring, and all that stuff. But I owe a lot to him because of him guiding me in through the music and Kasem Samad, Bad Bass. It was different studios that were really big in this Essex County area, but I love the fact that those engineers and those owners of those studios were also mentors, right? So that changed the game. They weren't just about making their money, they were about teaching the game as well, so you to understand the craft. So I think all of that made me who I am today.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's where it's important. Yeah, it totally finds you. Where did the name come from as you were forming your act?
Mr. Hubb,
Yeah,
exact because from the Hub Arts and Trauma Center, the young people start calling me Mr. Hubb because everything that I do
that's
is
nice.
about making sure that they're in a great space and understanding that they got a safe haven, and it's stuck, right?
Yeah,
My former name was Misunderstood in the music business, but because I've been doing this for 16 years, the kids called me Mr. Hub. But Misunderstood was just because nobody understood how I would make these songs, and I was a straight A student, but I hung around with all the bad dudes. So to look at me, you would think that I was out there, but I wasn't. Right. So the
wow.
name came as Misunderstood in high school. I was the uh, uh, what is the homecoming king. I
Oh,
was a
wow.
celebrity, right? So I was it. And they just didn't understand that how I wasn't in trouble the way that all my friends were. So the name stuck with Misunderstood. I changed it up when I started doing the organization, and the kid called me Mr. Hub, and it stuck. It was like, whoa, okay, wow, that's dope. I wasn't even doing music for a minute. I stopped.
Oh,
Love hate
wow.
relationship with the music business, man. It was just like I couldn't grasp the idea of these young people doing music and it wasn't feel good music, right? It wasn't
Yeah,
the energy wasn't there and people were killing each other. Like it was like, what in the hell? And they're still doing it, right? But then I had to remember when we started doing music, um, everybody, was beating us down about the music and not really understanding our creativity. And I had to give them a pass. Like, all right, I understand that it's
yeah,
different. These young people, y'all gonna do things differently, and there's codes in their music and stuff like that. But when it becomes detriment to our people, I have a problem with that, right? And I had that love hate relationship with it for a minute, so I stopped doing it,
yeah.
right? And I focused on the organization and building the organization out. And it really wasn't until a couple of years ago when, some of the young people that we was doing music and stuff with, because I have a studio, radio station, videography, photography, all that set up in the center. And some of the young kids was doing music. And, it leaked out somehow that I was an artist somehow. And some of the kids challenged me and stuff like that. And we got in the booth and it was like, oh, snap, Mister Hubb can really rap. I was like, yeah. So then it was like, wow, they loved the music that I wrote. And I was like, wow, so you mean to tell me that y'all not, you're not beat me down because I ain't talking about killing each other and stuff like that? And it was like a feel good. And that was a revitalization of, oh, wow, that's something that's missing right now. Like, we're the Rakims, the Biggies, the Jay-Z, all of those are missing right here where it was sustenance in the music. And I was like, all right, well, let me use this as a tool. I don't want to be an artist again, right? That's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do is utilize my talent in a way that I can use it as a teaching tool for the young people that are listening to the music. So like a lot of times people say, well, you're gonna go on tour and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm going on tour teaching young people not to throw their lives away, right? And to understand victimization doesn't have to be the end all, right? And that they can survive their resiliency, and I'm gonna do it through music. So I create these visual masterpieces and this piece of art, when I call it art, in the way of taking our feelings, our traumas, and putting it into song, right?
Yeah, it's good to mix the two and mix the creativity and the social aspect together, and they're finding inspiration in that.
Absolutely. Inspired. My mother used to always say, perceive it.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Perceive it, believe it, and achieve it. I grew up with that, man, and it was like, wow, okay, so got to make it clear, So how do you make it clear? How do you paint the picture so people understand it? And music has always been a universal language, So if we could put it in a way that they understand it and see it in this form, then maybe it can translate into some positivity, and that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, totally. So the big thing out now is you have a new single. What's the origins of Grown Man Shh? So it's you got some pretty interesting people in on that.
Yeah, Grown Man is it's really about just owning up to your shit and understanding. Can we curse? Is it all right to curse?
Yeah.
Is it all right to curse?
Yeah.
Just making sure. Okay. So it was about just owning up to your stuff, man, and making sure that we all made bad decisions. We've all made some mistakes in our life, but it doesn't have to determine your life, your end result, and facing that, right, and pulling your pants up, pulling your pants up and being the man that the community should expect you to be, right? We kings and queens, man, and our queens are looking for us to be kings. And I wanted to challenge some of the young kids that was in the program that had excelled at, getting a job with us, being employed by us, right? The two young guys that's on the song with me, they were out there. They were making some bad decisions, and they wanted to change their life around. We brought them in, and then once I heard that they was musically inclined, we put them on a song, and I challenged them to create their verse around their struggles, what they had been through, and let's talk about that. and I love the way the song came together. And it, did you happen to see the video?
Yeah, great video up there on
Yes.
YouTube, on your YouTube
Thank
channel.
thank you. So I was really trying to make sure that we let that translate in the visual masterpiece right there. So like that the trauma happens. It happens to all of us, right? But what do you do about it, right? And then I wanted to play on the community-based violence intervention and what we do at the Hub.
Mm.
That song really depicts how people can make bad decisions, go through life, all that, but they can be resilient, and how the Hub helps them walk through it.
Yeah, was that all shot at the Hub over how many days, or was it just one
Yeah,
day?
we actually shot it in one day, but it's all
Yeah.
around the Hub. Yes.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
promo. That's a
Thank,
good promo for the
thank you.
center. Like, yeah, where is that? Yeah, that's cool.
Right. And I was trying to be very strategic with that.
So was that somebody like involved with the Hub who directed that and edited and got it all together?
Yeah, well, they actually do some teaching and stuff for us. He has his own organization, but as we get more funding, I'm going to hire him to come in and do more teaching like that. But I have a lot of the young people now that are really interested in learning how to do it. So a lot of the new videos that we do and the promotions and all that stuff are being done by the young people.
Yeah, it really helps get the word out. You got to get on the socials and really distribute this thing and
Right.
making more people aware, which could probably get you more funding, people who really want to
Absolutely.
be involved.
That's the plan, man. That's the plan. I'm like I said, I'm part of this network, so I'm doing a lot of work in Baton Rouge and Orlando right now. So we're putting this tour together that we can take the kids from Newark and Baton Rouge and Orlando and have them make songs and stuff together. And it's like a Live for Something tour that we're doing. And we're gonna use that, yeah, but of course we gotta have these outlets like yourself, and thank you for having us, but outlets like you guys that expand our network, right? Expand our viewership so people really understand what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, that's important. It's getting the word out. And it's hard because like just about everybody's got these computers. Everybody can
Right,
get on TikTok and all this stuff. So
right,
hard to compete. It's nice to, get easy distribution, that's for sure. Especially when you
right.
want to get your music out there. So are we able to see you on all the socials and then like Spotify, all your music, that's all easily available through your site?
Right. That hub life is the key. Everything is going through that hub life with two B's. And the social media, all platforms are under that. And we're doing a lot more marketing and promotion. I just hired a firm actually to do the promotions and stuff. That's how I got you.
Mm,
Right. So we're taking the steps to really push us out there and utilizing relationships and leveraging those relationships into more viewerships that will hopefully turn into more donors and participants to help out.
cool. And you have music in this upcoming, or is it out now, this
Uh,
Bruce Willis movie?
it's getting ready to drop in the new year. I'm so excited because this is Bruce Willis' last movie, and that was the song "Live for Something" as well. It made it to the soundtrack, and I'm so waiting, anticipating what happens with that because again, it's a teaching tool. "Live for Something" is another song that we wrote about our young people making bad decisions and black on black crime, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's easy to talk about what somebody else doing to us, but what about us? What are we doing to each other? So live for something, we'll die for anything. How about you live for something? So yeah, man, I'm excited about that, man. And hopefully the Bruce Willis movie will, kind of catapult that into another space where we can be able to take it on a larger level.
Yeah, called Die Like Lovers. It's
Hmm.
so hard to tell where things will be opening up or whether they'll be streaming or how that's gonna go these days. It's really
Right.
tough.
Because it's his last movie, they've had to make some changes and some edits and and they're getting ready for this big push on it. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, live for something. We'll be looking for that. I'm sure fits it well, and that's exciting to be part of that soundtrack. That's got to be.
Absolutely.
When did you hear about that it was going to make the soundtrack?
Oh man, this was the beginning of last year. I want to say no, it was actually the middle of the year. It was actually the middle of the year, around May or June, and we got the email like they was interested in the song and they was listening to it. And
Mm,
actually, from my organization, we got 2 songs on it, right? You know,
yeah.
my other artist Penelope and my song.
Penelope,
And I
yeah.
was like, yeah, I'm like, oh snap! Like, so I got really excited. Like, 2 songs making it on this, like, you know, that's unheard of. So, you know, from a little organization like us, and we got 2 songs on Bruce Willis' last movie, like, it's crazy.
Very cool. That's a great accomplishment. You got a lot of trophies, awards back there. Is that all yours or you're part of your family's?
Well, it's the organization because I'm in the center right now,
You're the
and
center.
what we used to do is the Healthy Olympics. For many years, you know, Newark consists of 5 different wards, and we used to have all of the wards compete with, you know, the childhood games like basketball, kickball, volleyball, scooter racing, and all that. And the wards compete against each other. And you see, the Central Ward where I'm from, we won it a couple of times. So, like, you know, different wards won, but I kept them all here so that we can really celebrate the Central Ward and the wards, and just really being in the community and doing this work with keeping kids out of trouble, but doing something positive.
Nice, nice. Yeah, a lot of accolades there. That's good stuff. So, anyone, you became a certified advocate, mental health advocate. Was that a special certificate you had to work for?
Yeah, I'm a victim. I'm a victim advocate. I mean, because of some of the traumas that I've been through in my life, like, I wanted to do more to help people not be in the same situation that I've been, and to fight for them. Because I know what I always wanted. You know, even though I was a neighborhood celebrity, even though I was a straight A student, I had dealt with some trauma in my life that I wanted somebody to fight for me for, because I didn't know. Not identifying with trauma, not knowing that that was trauma. I wanted somebody to fight for me, and it just didn't happen. And you know, I grew up making some really bad decisions because I didn't know that I was dealing with trauma. And so, as I was doing this work, unfortunately, a friend of mine, Sir Isaac, was murdered, and that kind of like really threw me through a loop, to the point where I was depressed. I was really feeling like, what's the sense of doing this work if, you
Yeah.
know, keep losing friends and blah 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 blah. So I decided to do something about it, you know, and I went and got trained with the classes, and now I fight. I fight with a legal backing now to be able to help people through their processes. So I'm certified victim advocate. I'm a commissioner for the Martin Luther King Commission in New Jersey. So, you know, I just want I just want my dash to stand for something. You know, when God finally take me away from here, I want people, my children, my young people, to know that I lived my life for something. You know,
Yeah.
I lived my life for something, and that you can as well. Like, I want it to be purposeful, right? And everything that I'm doing now in life is, I done made enough bad mistakes for other people, right? I just didn't get caught, right?
Right.
And those are the situations that, like, I fight that much harder to make things better because of some of the things that I was a part of. My eyes shouldn't have seen, I shouldn't have been a part of. God blessed me to not pay for it in that way. So I live my life to give back.
Yeah, yeah, you learn from that as the years go on and build on that. And there's
Absolutely.
something to be said about being wise as
Yeah.
you're getting older.
Yeah, and you can talk from a place of relevancy, right? You can have these conversations with these young people, and talk from, you know, not a space where oblivious, where we don't know nothing. No, I can talk to you about this, right? I can be a credible messenger in a lot of ways, right? But I'm smart enough to know that I don't know everything either. So I hire those people to be around me as well, to be those credible messengers, right? So now the key to me with these young people is being relevant, right? It's being relevant and being able to have a conversation with them. And you can't really have a conversation with them if they're not feeling safe, right? They don't trust you if they don't feel safe. So
Yeah.
creating a safe space for them to be comfortable to talk to you, and while they're talking to you, you can assess some things from the experience that you've had and be able to help them in that process. It doesn't always work, but for the most part, it does.
Yeah,
You know,
that's it's never nothing's gonna be 100%. It's just like, and
right?
you can't let that get you down. You always, and it's so easy to say, hey, keep your eyes on the prize, get back up on the horse, blah blah blah. It's tough, but
Yeah,
you got to find that inner strength, and that's how to carry on and to really
no,
believe in your
absolutely,
mission.
absolutely. It's really hard right now. Last week, I lost a 16-year-old to he was murdered,
Mm,
and and he grew up here in the hub, and this shit's hard. It's hard, man, because you can't save everybody, man, and yeah, it's like in my 16 years of doing this, I lost, now him would make 7 kids, like, so I'm happy that it's not way more, but everyone counts, right?
yeah,
Each one of them hurt, and it's just
right.
like, damn, I wish I could have saved them. I wish I could have saved them.
Yeah,
And I'm realizing that I'm not Superman, that all I could do is put ourselves in a position to give them a space that they safe in, provide them with programming, provide them with mentorship. You know, we change the game a little bit. We call it interest-based mentoring. So we figure out the things that they like and use that as a way to mentor them through. Um, and can't save everybody.
yeah. Just got to keep the faith, no matter what that is.
Absolutely.
That's you clutch onto that, and you just hope that's yeah, one is too many who get murdered or they murdered somebody. It's just
Absolutely. It's a lot.
it's terrible, especially these days. I don't know if it's kind of post COVID that things are happening, especially like where I'm at here. It's just heartbreaking every time you turn around. Somebody's getting murdered or somebody murdered somebody, and gosh, even police officers too. I mean,
Yeah.
in the line of
It's
fire.
real. It's real.
Gosh.
It's so real. When you think about COVID, man, I sit back and I think, like, you know, just 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 ride with me for a second. If
Yeah.
you don't understand trauma, you don't identify with it, so you're not accepting it as such, right? And then you're now locked in
Yeah.
with your abuser, right? And can't
Yeah.
escape. So that's exacerbated, right, to a whole nother level. And too many situations have been like that, right? Where now I can't even get away. So I got to deal with it. So that's more stuff that's going in. And then when it's finally released, like, people react in so many different ways and don't know how to deal with it. So I'm always about training. I'm always about, getting some understanding for these young people and their families, because you can't blame somebody for what they don't know, right? That's another part, is about teaching the families, teaching the parenting skills, right? Because we're growing up. And I keep going back to my own situation, but growing up in this household where, the abuse is happening,
Mm,
right? Abuse is happening and you don't know how to deal with that, right? And
totally.
my mom was abused, right? She
Which you
she
knew
she
from.
right. And unfortunately, every time I say this, I hesitate, because I never want my mom to feel like, I'm blaming her, right?
Yeah.
But I think she taught me and my brothers to accept
Yeah.
less than, right?
Yeah.
Because she kept staying with this guy that would beat on her, right? And it was like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
mom, like, and what I've noticed is that me and my brothers grew up accepting women in our lives that, didn't totally have our best interest. And the pattern was
Right.
accepting it because that's love. No, that's not love, right?
Mhm.
But
You
what we
just
were taught that, right?
yeah.
But that same teacher, my mom, taught us all these other things. Like, we teach people how to treat us by the things that we accept, right?
Mhm.
But here it is that you're allowing this guy to do this, and we're seeing it, and we're part of that residue,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That trauma happened in our lives too. It didn't just happen to you; it happened to us too. So I want to teach more about that and teach these parents to understand their worth, right?
Yeah.
because their children are watching.
Yeah, they
Their
are. They
children
absorb
are
it.
they absorbing it all and understanding more than you think, right?
Oh
So we
yeah.
have to be careful about that, right? So all of those things, man. I just want the hub to be a place where we can get those trainings and learning how to care for ourselves enough that it becomes contagious and infectious to other people, right? That you are somebody, that you are great, that you can be something, like, because too many times we're taught that we're not, that we can't. And, practice makes perfect even when it's wrong. You
Yeah.
get so good at doing something wrong that you start believing that is right. And that's not good.
Yeah, that's a tough cycle to break. And yeah, it's about having that confidence, the self-esteem. It's like you're better than that, but it's hard when you have been so programmed for so
Right.
long.
Right. To not even think that you're better than that, right? That
Yeah.
this is just life, right? This is
Right.
what I'm supposed to do. No, you're not, right? And that's why, again, it's so important to take these young people outside of their norms, right? Show them a different side of life. Let them experience life, so then you can actually make a decision from that. Then, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh wow, I've seen this. I'm dealing with this, but I want that. Yeah, but what is that if you never see it?
Right. Right. That's
Right?
what it does.
Yeah. So I mean, it's hard, but somebody's got to do it.
Yes. And it's
Somebody.
good. And you're finding, you're gonna leave the world a better place than when you found it. And if you've done that, you've done your mission. You've done your, it's good to be remembered for all the great things and having that legacy.
Right. Like I'm so hell bent on just making sure that we help us become better. Simple.
Yep.
Simple. Like, if I change one child, then I've done our job, and I know we've touched thousands and thousands and thousands of kids that have come through our program, their parents that have come through the program or have participated in any program services or events that we've done over the 17 years, because I've always done everything that we've done out of love. It's always been love first. I've never let money lead me. So it's always been genuine. And now, because of that, I'm very intentional about what I do. I'm very intentional about who I hire, just so that we create the experiences that people walk away changed.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really what matters. It does.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Good stuff. So where can we find you on the web?
Everything is thathublife.org, That Hub Life on all social media platforms. THTHUBB LIFE. I had to think about it. That Hub Life. Yes.
Cool. Well, best wishes to you. It's been really wonderful hearing about your organization, your music. 23 is going to be a really good year, sounds like.
Yeah,
and
I'm so looking forward to it, man. So looking forward to it.
yeah, especially that movie with Bruce Willis. Hopefully that gets in the theaters and stays there for a while. And the soundtrack does well. Let's hope for all that.
Yes, thank you so much, man. Thank you for the platform and for you, having a platform for us to be able to showcase what it is that we do and how we do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care. Best wishes.
Best wishes to you as well.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.